Hey, this is Rick from Hiking Emergency Beacon, and today I want to tell you about the Spot Gen 4. But before I tell you more, hit that like and subscribe button and turn on notifications so you'll be alerted as soon as I put out new videos. All right, well, here is the old Spot Gen 3 here. Here's the Spot Gen 4. Spot Gen 4 is slightly larger. I believe the battery life is a little bit longer on this, and I'll put some screenshots up on some of the information on it, the specs, so you'll have exactly the differences between the two. What I was doing today was I was heading out on a trail today to do a quick test of the Spot Gen 3, just to make sure it worked and I didn't have any hiccups. I did have one hiccup, to tell you the truth. I didn't put my SIM card in my GoPro, so I'm videoing on my smartphone instead of my GoPro. I checked everything except for that, so always check your equipment before you go out. So the good thing is everything works perfectly, and so when I started off at the trailhead, I turned on the tracking right here. So before I get into everything, the power buttons are here on the top, and then there's some lights up here. This one up here shows the power is on. This one in the middle lets you know if you're getting satellite access, and then this one over here shows you when a message has been sent. And again, remember, don't forget, this is a one-way satellite messenger. You have a few customized buttons and the SOS, but you can only communicate one way, and that's out, away from you. Nobody can communicate to you. Down here, you have the check-in button. Right here is the tracking button. Turn that on. It's 10-minute track, which I've got it set on. I think there's different tracking levels, times. I'll let you know about that. I'll put some screenshots up. Right here is a custom message, and then over here, this is this one here. If you flip this lever up, it can be set up to be a auto service. So if you're driving around and you don't have cell service and you do a lot of that, and you want some auto service or wrecking service, whatever, you can hit that and they'll come out looking for you. Over here on this side is the SOS function, the SOS button. So you hold that down for about 3 to 5 seconds and search and rescue teams will come. So what I've done is you can set these up ahead of time. So even though it's a check-in button, you can say something different. And so I've said whatever. It's pretty much what the default message is. It's all great. It's, hey, I'm on the trail, whatever. Everything's great. Again, this is tracking. Over here, what I've said is I'm running late. I'm fine. I'll be there soon. And then over here, what I did, instead of doing the auto service, I set it up to say I'm in trouble. It's not life-threatening, but I need help. So it's more for family and friends that can get to me if I needed help. Maybe I sprained my ankle real bad, or even broke a leg or a broken arm, and I needed help, but it wasn't life-threatening. That's what I use that for. What I did when I started the trail, off the trail, like I think I mentioned earlier, I hit the tracking button. So it set tracks down every 10 minutes, and you can see the tracks on the screen. And I'm in self-service here, so I was able to see that. So you can actually, set people up, your contacts, so other people can see where you're at and watch you, and know that you're okay. And then if you check in, then they'll get it. If you set them up with an email or a phone number, they'll get notified of the check-in, like I'm fine, or I need help, or whatever it might be, or I'm running late. So I'll put screenshots up of the tracks and where I did the check-in. And then when I got up here, I did this other button here, said I'm running late. So you'll be able to see that one also. So on the map, when somebody's watching you, or you do have cell service, you have standard view, which is topo maps. You have a aerial view, and then you have a hybrid, which is aerial plus, I think, shows maybe boundaries of things and highways. But again, most people know what a hybrid is. But those are the three that people can choose when they're looking at the map, or when you're looking at the map later. So it's a really great device. It's really lightweight. It's really small. It sits here on my pack, and I don't even notice it's on my pack. You want these typically to be sitting higher up in the air, so you're getting the best satellite view. And it's again, one-way satellite messenger, and it's a great device. It's one of the cheapest on the market. I bought the Spot Gen 3 on sale for $100. I think they're more about $150 now. I'll put that up on the screen too. And I'm also going to put some specs up, so you'll see the difference between the Gen 3 and the Gen 4. But if you want a simple device, or you're low on money, this is a great device. I can't highly recommend it enough. I use the Garmin inReach Explorer and the Garmin inReach Mini more, just because I've tested them. There's a lot of things about those I like. I'll put a link down in the description below so you can read more about those. But again, if you go out and you out on adventures, hunting, hiking, camping, whatever it might be, I've had a lot of close calls, and I never go out without one anymore. So I just recommend you really get one. I just want to reiterate to everybody that this is a one-way messenger. And if you don't have cell service, you cannot see the map yourself on your phone. You can't sync to your phone. It's a standalone device. It's one-way only messages out, and they're only customized. You cannot type a custom message, and you can't get weather forecasts. It's just a basic life-saving device, or also to let people know, family or friends, that you're okay and don't worry about you. This is what just most people probably need. You don't need the $300 or $450, Garmin inReach Explorer or Garmin inReach Mini yet. I believe even the Somewhere Global Hotspot and the ACR Bivy Stick, they're up there $250 to $350. I'll put them on the screen here also. I'll put links to all the satellite messengers I have, and you'll be able to do some research in every one. There's only one satellite messenger I don't have right now, and it's the Zoleo. I will be getting that soon, and I'll be doing reviews and comparisons between that and others. Keep an eye out for that Zoleo, because I'll be doing a lot of videos. Also, let me know down in the comments if there's another satellite messenger you think I should review. Hey, I'm back out again today to test the Spot Gen 4. One more time. This is a 5-mile trail. It's the Dawson Ranch Open Space Trail near Larkspur, Colorado. And I'm going to be testing these buttons again. This one here is a check-in. I've already tested it. I'll have screenshots up. This one here is the custom message. I'll be doing this about halfway through the trail. And then over here under this flap is the message it's another custom message, so that I mentioned earlier in the video, and I'll be testing that also. Plus I'll also be laying down tracks and making sure that it's working appropriately. I'm a little more curious on this trail because there's a fairly dense forest in it, and we'll see how well it does when you don't have access to the sky as well as in a real open spot. All right, this is the last test of the Spot Gen 4. I keep mixing it up because I've been testing the Garmin inReach Mini also today. But this is another test I was doing to make sure it worked fine, from the tracking to the messages that are sent out. I'm going to put these screenshots up from my device here, because I do have cell phone service out here, so I can see that it is accurate and it's working. The first thing I did at the trailhead was I started the tracking function here in the middle, this button. The next thing I did is I set the check-in button to make sure it worked. Then about a third of the way through the hike, I set this custom message here. It was basically saying I'm running late. I'm fine, but I'm gonna be late. Then the third button I pressed was I pulled up this flap right here, and I used that button. Now that's the one that you can use for car auto service too if you get stuck and maybe you're driving places where you don't get good cell service. But you can also make it be another third custom message. So that means help, I'm in trouble, not life-threatening, but please come and help. That's really for family and friends. Hey, there's one thing I noticed when I was out on the hike today, and I'm back home now, but when I press this button here that's the auto service, but it's really my second custom message. When I pressed it, it kept sending messages like every 5 minutes. So, these other two, like the check-in message and this custom down here, these two, when you press them, they only send them one time, and then they won't continue to send them. When you send this, the light stays on. When you open this up, you hold it for 3 seconds or so, it continues to send them. I think when I was trying to wrap up my video at the end of that hike, I got like 5 messages, because I was sending them to my phone and my email. But I got like somewhere between 4 and 6 messages. So just to let you know, when you use this as another message, turn it off. Don't let it keep going, or people that you have in your contacts will keep getting alerted and maybe irritated. So just a little advice for you. But everything's worked just fine. The tracking is at 10-minute intervals, and then I set I sent those messages off, and you'll be able to see from the maps. I'll show you the topo map versus the aerial map, and then the hybrid map, and it's worked really well. It's again, it's not a really expensive device. It's a one-way satellite messenger, and it's a great device that most people, maybe you can't afford it, or you don't really need a whole lot. I would highly recommend it. Really great device. It worked really well in the last 2 tests. Thank you for joining me on Hiking Emergency Beacon, and please like, subscribe, share, and turn on notifications so you'll be alerted as soon as I put out new videos. And I'll see you out here next time. May not be able to see it very well, but that top of that mountain right in the center of the screen is Pikes Peak. We are north of it, I don't know, maybe 40 miles, 30 miles.